Stay tuned as we check out this Marvel Legends Citizen V from the Armoured Thanos Build-A-Figure wave. Pow, and welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. As always, my name is Dan W. Make sure you are following me on Instagram at It's Dan Who. Today our Marvel Legends reviews continue with this Avengers Endgame aka Armoured Thanos Build-A-Figure wave, and in front of me we have another comic book character to look at. It is Citizen V. Now this character gets a little bit confusing as there's lots of different versions of him in the comics, but the box sort of helps explain which version this is, and I will do my best to sort of give you a brief explanation of the comic character in my Who Is He segment, so stay tuned for that. But he looks decent in the box, and you also get a Build-A-Figure leg for the Armoured Thanos. On the side of the box we get a picture of Citizen V, and on the back this is where it tells you what version this is. Apparently this is the Baron Helmut Zemo version of Citizen V, as it says, Baron Helmut Zemo adopts the alias Citizen V and leads the heroic Thunderbolts into battle against various villains. So yeah, most people will probably know this character from Thunderbolts, but again, my Who Is He segment, I try and give you the sort of origins of Citizen V at least. But yeah, until then, there's a list of all the figures in this wave you need to complete the Armoured Thanos Build-A-Figure. Today we're looking at Citizen V. So yeah, without further ado, let's get them open. And here we have Citizen V out of the box. My leg's a little bit warped out the box, and the sword was held on by a little bit of elastic band. But it's a bit loose, but it sits okay. And the sword is the only accessory it comes with if you do not include the cape. And the cape's sort of pre-posed, so it sort of leans one way. You'll see what I mean on the back. It sort of leans one way, a little scruff on mine, which hinders the arms articulating, which I'll get into in a minute. But the other things in the box are the leg. I said other things, I meant one other thing. It's the Build-A-Figure leg for Thanos. Of course, subscribe to the channel, come back as I will review the Armoured Thanos in full once I've reviewed the rest of the figures in this wave. Now back to Citizen V. The cape does come off easily. There's a peg on the back, as always. It's a bucky cap body, and again, this cape is sort of pre-posed. You've got the American flag there, but it's sort of having a quick look at Citizen V. The arms are like, it's all blue with like the red wraps around his arms. This bout piece, I thought it was a separate piece. It may actually be yeah, it is a separate piece. So that's a separate piece, but it's quite tight on there so you can't see, and it hides the waist articulation, which is there. Is it there? Yeah, it is there. There you go. But it was hiding that, but it is there. There you go. It's a separate piece, so you can use that to hide the lines. The boots, again, simple boots. The black wash on both the boots and the wraps, decent. And the head sculpt, it's like you can see the sort of imprints of eyes on the sort of white mask, but you can't see if it's male, female, or anyone. And maybe it's just a drone. Who knows? But we actually know who it is. It's Baron Zemo. So there you go. Peg. You can peg in the cape, but again, the shoulders articulation is going to be hindered. So if you want to get this guy battling in some decent ACBA poses, not going to happen. And only this hand can hold the sword. This hand's just a fisted hand. And it's going to be hard to do some hand swaps as the hands have the wraps on it. So definitely unique to this character, if you know what I mean. But still decent looking. And there's a closer look. You can see the sort of black wash on the wraps. And there's the boots as well. And the sword is just a silver sort of plastic. No detail on it at all. That's probably why it's disappearing on my white background, to be honest. So yeah, that's Citizen V. But Citizen V has been used by a few different people in the Marvel Universe. This definitely wasn't the original look of the character Citizen V. So I will try my best to explain that to you right now in a segment I like to call Citizen V. Who is he?
This is the part of the video where we ask the question, who is he? And I try and give you a little bit of information about the character this figure is inspired by. So, Citizen V, who is he? Citizen V has been portrayed by many different people in the Marvel Universe, both as good and bad guys. The original was John Watkins, but one of the most memorable versions of Citizen V was Helmut Zemo, when he was pretending to be a hero using the Citizen V name since his father killed the original. No superpowers, just highly skilled soldiers, most people will remember a version of Citizen V as being a member of the villainous Thunderbolts.
So there you go, I hope that helped. Again, I do not claim to be an expert, but it is nice to have a little bit of information about the character this figure is inspired by. And as I said, thanks to the box, we know this version is the Helmet Baron Zemo, but this character, Citizen V, has been sort of passed down through family legacy, and it gets a bit confusing. But for just simple sakes, this is your Thunderbolts version of Citizen V. And it is next to Zemo, another Zemo, Zemo and Zemo. I'm not too sure, without doing a bit more research, is this the same character in different costume? I think it is, but I could be wrong. I just don't know. I know this is Baron Zemo, but is this Baron Helmet Zemo? I get very confused. I think this may be the son of this guy, or I don't know. I can't remember. Gets confusing. The Marvel world, very confusing. I can't remember it all, but there's two Zemos. I know that for sure. Pull Zemo away, and let's bring in some... Well, the only Thunderbolt member of his squad I could find on my shelf at a quick glance was Songbird, and she was right at the back of my display, and because of those giant wings, and I've took her off, and I've knocked down about 30 bloody figures from my shelf just to get her in this video for a comparison. And I know this video is only going to do about 300 views, so was it really worth it for all those figures falling? Probably not, but there you go. Those are two members of the Thunderbolts from the Marvel Universe. And just for villain's sake, let's throw in an AIM soldier and a Hydra soldier. Or is that a Hydra soldier or is it Hydra Bob? Yeah, it's Hydra Bob. You can see that giant smile on his face. But yeah, that is your Baron Zemo display. And he foul because the cape is a bit back heavy, but it doesn't hinder it too bad. As you can see, it doesn't hit the floor either, so you're not going to be able to lean on it. But again, just get him leaning forward a little bit and he will be absolutely fine. But you're going to be frustrated because you're not going to be able to lift those arms up for posing. You're just going to have to get him in a static pose for the shelf. So the other characters of this wave, comic characters at least anyway, we have Nighthawk, who has problems standing himself, but it works okay. And then probably the standout of the wave in regards to comic figures, Hercules himself. So there we have the comic figures. One more to open. So there we have it. Maybe not the most popular or sought after character, but it's still a new character to add to the shelf, which I always appreciate. And it does look like who it's meant to look like, so you cannot complain at all. Looks decent. You let me know in the comments below, are you even going to bother with this guy? Are you happy to add another Thunderbolts figure to the collection? Always curious to know your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, go to the videos chat tab, check out my other videos, and check out the playlist. And please, 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 hit that subscribe button. Much appreciated. And as always, people, I shall see you on the next one.